Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Big Lee's World. It is I, Big Lee. We're recording today live at Big Lee's Boom Boom Room here in Cape Girardeau, Missouri. And today, I have my first guest on the podcast. Who is that? Oh, sorry. I can already warn y'all that this is probably going to be what they call a train wreck of an episode here. Because I have today with me my brother from another mother, one of the best friends that I've had since I've moved here to Cape Girardeau many, many moons ago. The man, the myth, the legend, Justin Lane. Justin, welcome to Big Lee's World's podcast.
Oh, thank you. It's fun.
And, well, that's about all the stories we could tell. Good night. So, like I said, Justin Lane, I've known him for a very long time. He's one of the first friends that I had here. Probably the first enemy I had here in Cape Girardeau, which I'm sure we'll get to. And we've had quite a few adventures going down the road together on many different, adventures you would call it. So first things first, Justin, I want to ask you, I'm wearing my official hat I got a couple months ago from the car dealer from buying a new car. You also recently purchased a new truck, but you have yet to show me your hat that you got there. How come?
Yeah, I never got a fucking hat.
Well,
Never your PG rating.
well, luckily I applied for the explicit version of this, and plus I'm too lazy to try to censor it anyway, so there's that. So you mean to tell me you went to your local Cape Girardeau Chevy dealer down there on South Kings Highway?
We can say their name. It's Code Chevrolet.
Okay, well,
And I never got a hat, and you're wearing a Code hat.
I am wearing a coat hat, which I don't know why I'm wearing a hat because I'm burning up in here as it is. So, I guess I can go ahead and switch hats to
The Stormy Daniels hat?
the Stormy Daniels hat. Yes, that apparently does not fit because I got it and, I just had the thing turned inside out. That's not too bad then. Look at that. So, where's your Stormy Daniels hat?
Yeah, I didn't go to the pony that night. I'm not a frequent flyer like you are. I'm not in the VIP list. You know, VIP. You just like go into that VIP room right away.
See, I don't know. I'm pretty sure I can remember at least one time or another that you were in the VIP section with me, so I had to get a cold drink there. Like I said, right now in Cape Girardeau, it's like...
Tell them what you're drinking, though.
What I'm drinking right now is I am drinking a cup of Coca-Cola.
No, you're drinking strawberry margarita.
That is not true. I am drinking an ice-cold cup of Coca-Cola. Justin just wants to give me a hard time.
I offered him a real man's beer, and he drinks strawberry margaritas.
What is this that you're drinking? It looks like a fruity water can.
No, it's called Kreftik. It's a beer from St. Louis.
Well, we don't really like St. Louis around here, do we?
Yeah, it's not as good as Nashville, but it's pretty nice.
Well, I mean, Nashville is like the second city close to godliness, only followed shortly by Chicago. Like I said, maybe if you had a Chicago drink here, maybe it'd go a little bit better, but, you know.
Yeah, but it's Illinois. They tax me on it.
Yeah, that's fair. I just read something the other day that I guess a couple of their products their taxes are going up on it.
Oh, in Illinois?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it's, I forgot what it was, gas cigarettes, I think, it's something else, but, you know. But hey, at least they're on the right side of history with the legalizing the marijuana part, so.
We're getting there in Missouri. We're slowly getting
Slowly
there.
but surely, you know. Actually, I think we're recording this on the 30th, so I think sometime this coming up week, you can officially start applying for your medical marijuana card.
Yeah, you can't get it anywhere yet, but you can apply. I don't think you really get it like November or something like that.
No, I thought that like they opened it so you could apply.
I think you could apply, but there's no place that's selling it right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I didn't know this.
'cause that's my understanding.
It's not going to do me any good anyways because one of the nice little laws here in Missouri that was kind of underwritten in all of it, unless it's changed, is that if you have a conceal and carry, you cannot get a medical marijuana card.
I don't have one of those, fortunately.
You don't have a conceal and carry?
No, I just carry.
Well, I mean, Missouri does have some kind of weird open carry law as well, but I don't exactly understand the full difference here. I know it has something. I think it has something to do with public transportation and things of that nature. So, you know, you'll have to get your card and let us know how the experience went on a future episode here.
Oh, frequent marijuana user, right?
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
So the years you've known me,
Yeah.
The only time I smoked marijuana is the one time you tricked me.
I did no such thing. Anyone that knows me knows that I'm an innocent angel and would have no part in the trickery.
Oh, I remember that. It was, hey, smoke this cigarette. Okay.
Oh, man. I don't know if that story's true here. Speaking of stories, we kind of have a disclaimer with this episode here that we want to go over. Like I said in the intro, we've had a lot of adventures, a lot of experiences. And yes, Justin does have a timeline or an outline here of those events for us to cover in the first episode. However, due to the legality of the issues and the people that are involved, the names may be altered in the stories that we tell. However, if we don't alter the name, just consider it altered, probably because neither one of us can remember the full details of all these stories, and I'll have to say something or he'll have to say something to me to remind it who it is. So for all intents and purposes, all the names in these stories are altered. So first things first, how's the family?
I was doing well, man. Yeah.
Good, good. Just a little quick side story here. I remember the first time I met your mom.
Yeah, it was in
A couple buildings down.
Bean Properties, right?
Yeah, Bean Properties here in Cape Girardeau.
As
we know a lot about those locations here.
I can't remember that address, but it was apartment number 3. I think it's like 1966, something like that.
Okay. Just, like I said, a couple of buildings down from here at the notorious Big Lee's Boom Boom Room. But, we're helping Justin move. It was me, him, and another friend of ours named Jae-Hun Lee, which, with his permission and his ideal, he liked to be called Asian Lee. Yes, we know in 2019 that's probably not the most kosher thing in the world to do, but that's what he told us he wanted to be known as, and we respect his wishes, and that's how we will continue to refer to Jae-Hun Lee as Asian Lee. So, I met your mom. We're helping you move over here. And Justin, being the great child that he is and caring about his parents, his mom was already over here cleaning the apartment for him, and he failed to tell her that, hey, 2 guys are coming over to help me move this furniture in. Nor did he also tell Asian Lee and myself that, hey, there's someone at my apartment cleaning there. So be aware when you walk in there that there's probably somebody there. No. We just walk on in there. His mom looks terrified that 2 strangers, an Asian fellow that she's never seen before, and a big old monster King Kong Bundy look-alike just comes walking in there, and then we have to explain why we're there, and then we all laugh about how terrible of a son Justin is. Does that seem pretty accurate?
That's almost true.
Almost.
But you left out the part that I bought you a pretty cool present for helping me move. Bought you that Jägermeister package.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah, I totally forgot about that. So, there was that. Although the best gift in the world was talking with her about how terrible you are. And speaking about how terrible you are, let's talk about the time we first met. Do you want to start this story off?
Oh, yeah, we met in Mr. Swope. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Mr. Swope.
His math class, was it college algebra or trig or something like that? I can't remember.
It was applied calc.
All I know is I did very poorly at it. But there was a attractive female.
I'm kind of insulted that you would think my 3rd year in college that I would only be at a college algebra level.
Yeah, I don't know. I got the CMO business degree. We didn't do a whole lot of math.
No, that's fair.
So
that's fair. Anyways, continue.
But there was an attractive female in the class that we decided to both hit on, and so we kind of became enemies for a while. But, and kind of something that can predict our future with females, we both struck out with her.
This is true. We both got played. So to go into a little bit more details of that, this girl, let's call her Lacey.
Sarah.
Oh, well.
Let's go with Lacey.
All right, well, Lacey or Sarah or however you want to.
Because to be honest with you, I do not remember her real name.
We had this conversation the other day and I told you what her real name was.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about it when we're finished recording. So, your boy Big Lee, being the genius that he is, was excelling so well in applied calc that I was going to impress this nice young lady with my skills and
your applied calc skills.
my applied calc skills.
That's your pickup lines.
That was my pickup line. Hey, it's an applied calc class. What do you expect? And kind of help her make sure that she's doing well in the class, which, for what I remember, I don't think that she had the best success in applied calc in the past. Do you remember this? I remember that she may have told us this.
I probably wasn't listening.
That's probably fair. So, I started, being the complete gentleman that I am and start kind of help her. And in Mr. Swope's class, we would a lot of times do group work as far as like working the problems and things like that. So I always made sure she was in my group, and she always wanted to be in my group because she wanted the good learning. And I thought that I was making brownie points and being smooth with her. And then next thing I know, we start doing 3-man groups. And up and behold, who do I get in my group? This idiot named Justin Lane. Now, I can't say anything out loud about it because it's a college class and I just can't be like, hey, get this guy out of here. I'm trying to win this girl over and he's here trying to steal my game here. So, anyways, he comes over.
To be fair, I never had any game either, though.
Well, I mean, neither one of us did, so I think that's kind of, we were on an even playing
I'm
field.
pretty sure my game at that point was, hey, do you like pro wrestling?
Yeah, well, I'm sure we'll get to that, you being the
Unfortunately-
president of the TNA fan club in Cape.
Unfortunately, that attracted you more to me than it did her.
Yeah, what can I say? I'm a sucker for a pro wrestling fan. So, anyways, we start getting in this group and we start doing our work. And we're really more, Justin and I are competing with one another to win her. When we should have both been focusing more on the applied calc that we have still yet to use in this day. So, anyways, towards the end of the class, she politely lets us know that she has a boyfriend. And then, almost like clockwork, we decided to no longer help her with her studies. Because, well...
There wasn't much for us anymore.
Well, that's true. It wasn't. And, there's somebody right now listening to this like, oh my god, these two are like two of the worst people in the world. And that's probably a fair statement.
Nah, I think we're just guys.
Well, that's true. This was, what, 2008?
Yeah, I'm in 2008.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think that was... And then... I don't exactly remember this detail. How we ended up hanging out. I know how we did, but...
So, yeah, at that time, my buddy Lee and I actually somehow got involved with TNA wrestling. I think what they called it.
No, hold on. No, that's not the beginning.
No, because that's how the first message started. Because we somehow became friends on Facebook, and then I said, hey, my buddy Lee and I got a part of this deal called TNAU.
Okay.
Which is TNA University, and we're trying to promote them basically because the more we could show that we're promoted, the more free stuff they sent us.
Yeah.
So we are cheap asses, so we wanted free stuff. And so I messaged you on Facebook about that. And then somehow we ended up going down to that music festival in Cape together. I think it was like a metal music festival or something like that.
So, I thought the metal thing came before the TNA deal. So I could be completely wrong about that because my memory's not the best.
It's also been 11 years ago.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah.
So, here in Cape Girardeau, we used to have a festival downtown called the City of... was it the Parade of Roses? City of Roses?
I think it was like the City of Roses Music Festival. It was like every fall, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was every fall. And we would go down there, and there would be bands and stuff like that. So, apparently there's some discrepancies in the story of how the two of us ended up down there to see a local metal band, which we will remain nameless in this podcast.
I don't remember who they were.
You don't remember?
Not the metal band, no.
Yeah, the face paint?
I remember I didn't enjoy the show,
Yeah.
but they had cheap beers, so I was okay.
Wait. I think we're talking still about two different shows here. I was talking about the one where me and you was at the outdoor stage.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
So you're not talking about the one the next year.
No.
Okay.
There's a bunch of people in like leather jackets.
Yes.
Yeah,
Where,
I'm in a bright blue polo, and
which is not the first time this
No.
has happened to Mr. Justin Lane, which I'm sure we'll get into that story. But just a side note, I'm all about people experiencing new things. And if I'm involved with it, and it's something you feel uncomfortable with, I will have your back as long as you follow one simple rule.
stay within 5 feet.
Stay within arm's reach. If you get out of arm's reach, then you're kind of out of luck, because at that time I'm probably not paying attention. Like, it's out of my, peripheral vision, I guess you could say.
The problem with that rule is that gave me almost permission to mouth off.
Yeah?
And I would.
Yeah?
And I just point back towards you.
Which I had no idea at the time this was going on, because we had this club, for lack of a better term, that was called Breakaways. And a lot of times we would go down there to see some different bands play. Most notoriously, our good friends, the Tone Deaf All-Stars.
Yeah, that was the first time I really remember we spent time together that we had fun together.
Right.
It was Tone Deaf. I think it was 09, 08, 09. It was homecoming weekend, though.
It had to be 09, I think, because 08 was the TNA house show.
It would have been 09 then.
And
but I remember
also, if you go to, some of y'all probably from local here know Hot Shots and how it's kind of set up. Well, Breakaways was kind of similar to that, except by the front, they had a little music area. Did they? I don't know. They had a stage. I can't remember. I just remember it always been set up by the front window.
I don't think it was technically a stage, but it was a cool setup, though.
Okay. And Justin would always be in the back for the most part, and apparently running his mouth. And I was up front because a young Big Lee would like to get up there and mosh. So, as the story goes, Mr. Justin Lane would like to pop off at the mouth to people, and if it got a little too hot and heavy for him, he would tend to point that he is back there with me. Not knowing that I'm just the guy up there just moshing around trying to have a good time. So...
But at that concert, we were all up front, though. It was you, Asian Lee.
Yeah.
I think
Wait, no. The timelines here are crossing.
There's too many Tone Deaf shows.
Yeah, because I didn't meet Asian Lee until... Wait, was he? I don't think he was there.
I think he was there.
No, I think we didn't meet Asian Lee till later on.
Was the other Justin that was there?
Yeah, the other Justin was there. Shout out to the other Justin. He recently subscribed to the podcast at the Nail Show, so if you're hearing this, Justin, much love, brother. We're going to have you on here soon. So, it was, the show that you're referencing, though, was Tone Deaf. I forgot the other guy's name. He moved to Texas. And he was just recently in Cape. And I know he's good friends with Darren at Tone Deaf. It was Justin Ross, was it?
Yeah, Justin Ross band, right?
Right.
I have a photo with him on the Facebook.
Yes, as do I. So, 2 memories of that show I have. I have the pictures from that night.
Then the magazine they threw out.
So, I actually still have this magazine. I don't know if we could talk about it here or not.
Oh, it was a nudie mag.
Not just a nudie mag.
It was a gay nudie mag.
No, it wasn't.
That's why Lee still has it.
Probably, no. So, it's actually I guess the term is BBW, Big Bold Women magazine. Where
you were so excited when you got it.
Hey, I was. I'm always excited to catch something for free. And then I'm pretty sure that I know Darren signed it, and I think a couple of the other members signed it as well. So that was a fun experience. That was a fun night. And the events that led after it as well, which
we're going to have to PG this one down.
Well, actually, thinking about it and talking with some legal advice and the statute of limitations, that part of the story we cannot tell. So, we'll just say after that, something really fun and really crazy happened that probably shouldn't have happened, but it did. So, if you ever want to know what really happened then, catch up with us at a show. If you see us out and about, come up and ask us, unless we're out with the families. If we're out with the families, don't come up and ask us, because we're just going to look at you like you're crazy and tell you to leave.
Yeah, there was some illegal stuff going on that night.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you're safe as long as it's allegedly.
I don't have any legal advice like apparently you do. I'm just going to say it and let's see what happens.
Yeah, let's not.
I mean, I don't have any money for people to sue me, so.
Look at that new truck.
Yeah, but I didn't get a damn hat though.
They can't get the hat.
I'm going to go back Monday and ask for my hat.
You should.
Yeah.
Because didn't they work you also into the oil change deal?
Yeah, the 2 free oil changes that they charge you for that I didn't know about.
Yeah. So, back to hand. So the next day after this, it had to be. Wait, so I'm confused.
That would have been a Saturday. It was homecoming weekend, I remember.
So, one of the TNA shows on a homecoming weekend. So was it the same weekend? Because it was like a...
See, I really think TNA was after, man.
No, like, I'm saying, like, homecoming... Like, the first TNA show was homecoming weekend. Because that's how I originally found out about it. Was because they put it in one of them, like, SEMO planners that they were giving away at the University Center. Before they even started advertising it.
You should be able to Google this real quick, right?
Well, I've never known you to Google anything quick.
Yeah,
so, for the point of this story, we're just going to go ahead and act like it is the same time frame. Because otherwise, we're going to be here for 4 hours just trying to figure out the timelines of these stories.
We're going to talk until we get 100 people to listen to this podcast.
That is correct. So, if you want us to quit talking, get us up there over 100 listeners. If you want us to continue talking, get us up there over 100 listeners.
No, all I can find about TNA is that 2013 show that was a disaster.
Oh, we'll cover that as well. But, so, we're going to say it was...
Gotcha.
Okay.
So TNA House Show is October 26, 2008.
So this all happened 2008.
So I guess it would all happen this same timeline, yeah. Same day, I guess.
Yeah, because if I think about it, we didn't see that girl really anywhere after that class. Well, besides that awkward experience you had, but I don't know if we can talk about that either.
Yeah, I think I still have my TNA U shirt from that event still somewhere.
I think you promised me a TNA U shirt.
Well, the problem was, not to be mean about this, we only ordered larges.
Yes, because let me tell y'all something. Being in the wrestling business now for a few years, especially in Southeast Missouri, the worst selling size that you can get is large.
Well,
either they want the medium and the large is too big, or they need the XL and higher and the large is too small.
The problem is the people who wear the mediums should not be wearing mediums. Because they're like, oh, I get this shirt that's really tight and I look buff. No, you just look fat, dude.
That's why I don't wear medium shirts.
Like, just embrace it like I do. Like, I'm going to wear large. So I wear medium, you're going to see some little bit of gut.
And we're not talking about, what was the guy's name on WCW? Ralph? That he managed Jericho and he had the belly shirt?
Oh, yeah.
I think I should start wearing belly shirts.
Was he the one who did like the white shirt had like Jericho's personal security on it, or
yeah?
I can't remember what it said.
Yeah, it was something like that. Yeah, but he had come out there and he wore the belly shirts.
Yeah.
So if
maybe we should do that for Starcast.
Ooh, I like that. So if you're listening to this right now, make sure to drop a comment wherever you found this link at for the podcast, and let us know if we should start rocking belly shirts to events.
And also your shirt size. You might start selling shirts with Big Lee's World.
Well, that's actually in talks.
I didn't even know that. I just kind of BS that because
hey, that's
that business degree.
That's right. You know, we was actually supposed to already had them, but I'll try to say this the nice, most politically correct way possible. The guy that was supposed to do it for us, he kind of went MIA. He kind of went MIA on a couple of things with Cape Championship Wrestling and Big Lee's World and a couple other endeavors that we were going to work on together. So,
well, let's just get some white T-shirts, take some Sharpies, and just mark it on there and sell them.
There you go. You know, I paid all that good money for the Big Lee's World logo. At least get that on there.
And you're paying me to show up today.
That's true. I am.
Granted,
I'm paying him in free air conditioning.
Yeah. And I got a sunburn, so what did you promise me?
Oh, yeah, the aloe vera gel.
Yeah. And I expect you to rub it in, sir.
Oh, I will. Just be aware. Have you ever had aloe vera gel?
Yeah.
Okay, I was going to say, if it's your first time aloe vera experience, thank you for not spitting your drink all on my carpet. So, if it's your first time aloe, I was going to say it's pretty cold. So, we're going to have to pop your aloe cherry. And the fact that somebody hasn't completely lost it at this point in time has amazed me.
Do we get any breaks during this?
No. Probably because if I stop it and record, it'll probably mess up because I don't really know what I'm doing with this.
Oh, okay.
You know. Don't tell me you gotta go to the bathroom again.
Oh, yeah, you know my bladder.
Oh, yes, which we'll get to. So where are we at in the timeline here? So we made it to the TNA show, right? So we're at the TNA show.
You realize it took us like 30 minutes to go 1 year.
Yeah. Yes. So,
and I've already cussed multiple times, so you lost your PG rating.
once again, I applied for the explicit rating because I knew something like this would happen.
Let me see here.
So we're going to tell the story about the TNA show.
So we're going 2008 or 2013 TNA show?
2008.
Okay, so 2008, we sat in different sections, though, in that show.
Yeah, because I actually bought a ticket. I was one of the, 50 people that probably bought a ticket.
But I remember that main event being AJ versus Angle.
Right.
It was actually a really good match for a house show. I mean, I was really impressed by it.
Yeah, the Dudleys were there. Was it the Voodoo Kin Mafia there?
Yeah, I think so. And Curry Man.
Oh, Curry Man. I've heard that name before. I think his alter ego, Christopher Daniels, was just at Cape Championship Wrestling.
I was there, so let's see here.
Yeah, a rare CCW appearance by Justin Lane was made.
Let's see, you got Petey Williams there, Rhino, Christian Cage, Beer Money, First Team 3D, ODB, Beautiful People, AJ Styles, Kurt Angle. Pretty good lineup.
Yeah. You know, especially considering that a lot of people in that lineup you wish you could see today, or you see now at a much bigger venue, to say the least.
Oh, yeah, I remember paying $25 to get a photo with Kurt Angle after a St. Louis show. But now, a photo of him is $60.
Exactly.
At WWE, so it's...
Yeah.
Did you just get a Tinder match?
No, actually, I keep getting an alert from Tinder that my profile's about to be hidden because I don't use it enough.
Oh, do you need to get on that Tinder?
Oh, don't worry. I'm sure we'll have plenty of Tinder stories here to tell as well. So, if we kind of get distracted here, it's because right now we'll go ahead and put it on the blast, put it on the call out. Ken Murphy continues to text me about something that I'm sure is of utmost non-importance. So, Ken, if you're listening to this, yes, we're aware that you keep texting us. And yes, it's not the question of is Justin Lane still mad at you with a photo of Jerry Lawler, because he is. Just on a side note, about any time I'm with him and you magically text me or I see something from you, I automatically remind him about the infamous Jerry Lawler ordeal.
First of all, I like King. He's one of 19 people who follow me on the Twitter.
Where can they follow you on Twitter at?
I'm not 100% sure. I'm going to look it up.
I think it's at Justin Allen Lane on Twitter. I'm pretty sure.
I'm not very active on the Twitter or the Facebook. But the Jerry Lawler deal...
And he's nowhere on Instagram.
No. I can't even imagine doing that.
Or Snapchat.
No, because Snapchat's weird because then people send you dick pics.
I think that's just you sending them to yourself.
No, I mean, it happens. But... Jerry Lawler photo. Yeah, first of all, it was a really cool experience. I think it was like $30-$35. You get a VIP session. You got a meet and greet for 50 minutes to get the photo. The only negative about it is the photo came on a little Polaroid picture, and I never had the digital copy to send you. But it is what it is.
So do you still have beef with Ken Murphy?
No, I have no beef with Ken Murphy. I like Ken.
I have beef with Ken Murphy.
I don't 100% know if he knows who I am. But after this podcast, we get 100 people to listen to this.
That's right.
And he knows that he already follows me on the Twitter, along with the 9 porn bots that follow me on the Twitter.
There you go. I have beef with Ken Murphy. Probably because I have to work with him constantly and almost talk to him every day or every other day.
He did take my ticket to that one show, didn't he?
He did.
I was sick that night.
Yeah.
I think I was really sick that night. So
I think he was supposed to comp you some CCW tickets for that, wasn't he?
Yeah, but I didn't go to CCW for 3 years, so I can't really say anything.
So, I mean, I think he still owes you that.
But, yeah, we'll see what happens. I heard you guys have the Perfect 10 coming next month.
That's right. Perfect 10. Shawn Spears, formerly known as Ty Dillinger, is coming to CCW Anniversary 3 live July 27th, 2019 at the AC Braze Arena in Cape Girardeau, Missouri.
And that chair shot last night was pretty sweet.
Yeah.
It was...
we tried to get Cody here, and we did not have the best luck, so Shawn Spears was willing to come in for us, and We appreciate that. So we 110% support what he did to Cody Rhodes.
Should probably tell you we're recording one day after. Was it
Fighter Fest?
Fest? Yeah. Which I didn't realize was actually based off a real event.
Yeah, it's like some like concert festival.
Yeah, it's like it was called like Fire Festival, and it was something in the Bahamas.
Yeah.
That is like I can't remember this guy's name. He basically ripped a bunch of people off. He's like, oh yeah, this band's gonna be there. We're gonna have all these stuff there, and then they get there, and it's like FEMA tits.
Didn't that happen also at this time, like just a couple of days ago in England?
Yeah, like
with like some like urban hip hop show or something.
Yeah, apparently these people showed up, and then now the bands were there, which is crazy. I mean,
because like one of the things I heard is I guess there's a rapper by the name of A$AP Rocky, and something about A$AP Rocky and his securities. It's like I'd seen that on Twitter, and then the next thing I'd seen was all this other stuff about it kind of being like this other festival.
yeah.
So yeah, Fighter Fest. It was.
I thought it was a solid show. I mean, for being free, especially, you really can't complain. I mean, the Cody and
we can complain. It's called the wrestling community. That's all we do is complain.
Was it Cody? Was it Darby Allin?
Darby Allin.
So what's cool about that?
Darby Allin. First off, the coolest thing about Darby Allin is he is married to Priscilla Kelly, and anybody that knows me knows I'm in love with Priscilla Kelly. So, first off, congrats, Darby. You're like a hero to me now.
Send us some Snapchats.
No.
Anyways,
go ahead.
What's cool about that though is that I didn't know who he was till last night, and that's kind of one of my biggest questions about AEW is how can they introduce these more indie guys to people like me, who tend to watch more WWE, right?
Putting it on a mainstream network.
I know, but yeah, I mean, but if they already have these dream matches, but those can only go so long. After that, it's like,
So I know this kind of gets off the timeline and stuff like that, of how we were going to tell stories and the history and stuff like that. But one of the things I want to point out is I had this conversation with Justin last year when we went to WrestleCon in New Orleans. And I told him, it's like, hey, I want to meet this person, this person, this person. And he was like, I don't know who these people are. Or I'm not getting a picture with such and such because I only know like one thing they did. And then, fast forward a little over a year later, now they're getting this mass exposure everywhere. So I think anybody that knows the two of us will know that Justin is more of your WWE guy, and I'm going to be more of your indie guy because my favorite type of wrestling is butt-up deathmatch wrestling.
So how'd you feel about that match last night then?
With Moxley and Janela. First off, Janela's like one of the coolest people in the world.
See, he was another one I thought was cool to watch because I didn't know who he was.
Mm-hmm.
So to see that match,
he's a bad boy.
To see them him go toe to toe with Moxley was pretty cool.
So for what it was a great match. Definitely something different from the mainstream because I think even though people are looking at this like what is AEW, with the money behind it, all the stuff, the pay-per-views, the sellouts, the TNT deal, like it's mainstream now. And to see a match like that, a hardcore match, is really interesting and a great concept for a deathmatch fan like me. However, the big thing that I did not care for was how the commentators kept putting it over as a deathmatch. Like they kept talking about the kings of the deathmatch, the kings of the deathmatch. And being a deathmatch fan, I feel like, it's not a deathmatch. Like, it's a glorified hardcore match. And then I'm not taking anything away of it because there was a lot of sick bumps in there. And, the bare feet on the thumbtacks. And then barbed wire boards. But to me, like, when I see a death match, I expect glass panes, glass light tubes, skewers, power tools, anything and everything like that. And we didn't really get to see that, but for what we got to see, that it was worth it. It was a great match. And you look like you're about to throw up now just thinking of someone using a power tool on somebody.
Yeah, I don't want to see that.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you're not going to any of these deathmatch shows coming up?
No, I mean, that match kind of pushed me to my limits. The thumbtacks, the barefoot spot.
Uh-huh.
I was just about to throw up watching that.
Why?
That hurts.
Well, yeah. That's kind of the thing with a death match is, I was explaining this to somebody the other day.
Is Ken texting you again?
Of course. I was explaining this the other day to somebody.
Are we live?
Yeah, we're still live. Well, I mean, we're live recording.
Oh.
Nobody can, get the live feed of this. Matter of fact, I even disconnected the Wi-Fi adapter, so I didn't have to worry about somebody, going in and slowing down the computer or anything like that. But I was talking to somebody about this the other day with death matches and stuff like that. I think you have a sizable market that understands that it's predetermined, and that's all people want to talk about is it's predetermined. But when you watch a death match, that to me is like one of the last art forms of the professional wrestling business that it suspends the belief of it being predetermined and stuff like that, just for the fact that you legitimately get hurt doing this. And that's like a whole new level of respect. Because let me tell you something, you cannot fake taking a drill to the forehead. You cannot fake taking thumbtacks into the feet or taking toothpicks to the back of your neck. There's no acting or anything like that with it. Like, it's pure and simple. Like, it hurts.
First of all, I should apologize. I got a beer. Would you like another strawberry margarita?
No, I am good on my cup of Coca-Cola. So we got a couple of deathmatch shows coming up. I know I guess technically tomorrow is going to be July. So a couple of those down in Nashville. You not going with me to any of those?
No, I'm just not huge into the deathmatch.
Yeah.
Especially because I know you're going to sit front row.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
It's not a deathmatch show if you're not getting the glass and breathing whatever's inside of the light tubes and getting pushed and moved around for a spot. So,
you remember how pissed I was at that one show you took me to? They made us get out of the way. Then one that had no heat.
Shout out to my boy Sam Cosby down there at Strictly Insane Pro Wrestling.
The only heat was in the restroom.
Yes. Yes. Wintertime shows at Strictly Insane Pro Wrestling are very interesting because if you ever want to heat up, you all got to go huddle in the men's bathroom. And let me tell you, some of the nice people in Crossville make it very, very awkward to all huddle in the bathroom around the heater. So, hopefully, they've had some electrical problems in that building, in that gym. So they've had to cancel the past couple shows, so I think they're doing one again in August, finally. So we may have to make it down there for that one. It's a free show, so it's in your price range.
My price range. Yeah, we'll see.
You know.
That's my way of nicely telling Lee no.
Since we're not getting to go see Pamela Anderson this weekend.
Yeah, we probably weren't going to do that anyway, though. We both spent a lot of money on AEW.
Yeah, but I don't know. I was in my mind working out, how I could feasibly do this. With this newer job that I have, getting up early in the morning is becoming more and more of a habit. So literally, depending on the time of the photo op, we could have drove straight up there and straight back. But with Pamela Anderson canceling, it's not a trip to Indianapolis this week, so. But nonetheless, we're way on the timeline.
You realize we went from 2008 to 2018.
That's pretty well how my brain works.
Yeah. So let's get back in the timeline here for my notes that I took because Lee was not prepared.
Yeah, I don't think anybody that knows me that's listening to this actually expects me to be prepared for.
So we talked about Tone Death and Breakaways.
Yeah.
We can talk about that some more. I mean, it's to this day, Tone Death is probably one of my favorite bands to see live. I know that sounds extremely weird to say.
Probably because you only sing 6 or 7 bands live.
I haven't seen a lot of live music, but it's always in a local small venue.
Yeah.
And you just drink a large amount of Diet Coke.
Yeah.
And party.
That's right.
You know. So do we want to talk about New Year's Eve?
We want to talk about New Year's Eve.
The Wrong Girl?
I will tell the story.
No, because your story is going to make me sound like I'm the bad guy.
Versus your story that makes me sound like I don't remember things. Which I think, honestly, in this case, is probably true.
What was the name of that bar again?
Slingers.
And it was cool, but it was right across from your apartment at the time.
Right.
So we didn't have to drive, which is nice because that's always a big fear when you're going out drinking. Is
Right.
having to drive.
So I remember us going out. I'm going to tell a watered down version of this story. And if you want any more details, let us know in the comments. We could probably do a whole episode on this night. So this is just going to be the short, watered down, PG version of it while Justin takes a bathroom break. So this was New Year's Eve 2009, 2010. And we had went across the street to Slingers just because we were all here over Christmas break because us not being rich kids, we still had to work during college and have a full-time job. So our full-time job entailed us working weekends and holidays here, and we just can't exactly get off work to go and go home for the holidays and things like that. So anyways, we go over there. There's a group of us, and of course it was me, Justin, Asian Lee, this other guy, we'll call him Fred, for lack of a better term, because I can't think of someone else's name to call him. This girl, who we'll call her Cindy. And this other girl that we'll call Mary. And I think Justin's getting back just in time for me to go back over the names here. So we're telling about how it was us, me, you, Asian Lee, Fred.
Who the hell is Fred?
Our now divorced friend.
I'll just go with it. I know there's 2 females involved. That's all that matters.
And then our other buddy Justin was there. We don't have to hide his name because he still laughs if I tell the story. And he'll be on here anyways on future episodes. So,
Imagine 3 of us doing a podcast.
oh Lord. I think we'll have 2 explicit ratings. So,
He cusses more than I do.
that's fair. So I think I said their name was Cindy and Mary.
Let me just clarify. Which one was the one that you were on a date with?
Neither one of them was I on a date
No,
with.
you were on a date with one of them.
No, I was not. We all went as a group of friends. Now, we'll say that... excuse me, I had to get a drink of Coca-Cola here. Where was... Oh, yeah. So, we'll say Cindy is the girl that I wanted to leave that night with.
Okay.
And then Mary was the other girl. So, the watered down version of this is we go out and we're all having fun. We're tearing the club up like our boys in 3-6 Mafia says. 3-6 Mafia.
Yes, with our great dance moves.
Oh yes, with our great dance moves.
You know, there's still photos on Facebook from my dance moves that night.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
Wait till I tell you what else is on Facebook. I just found the other day. So, we're having a good time. And, of course, was ceremonious that on New Year's Eve, that at midnight, there's a midnight champagne toast. And anybody that you're there with, you are to give them a kiss. It was a New Year's Eve kiss, a New Year's Day kiss. I don't know really what you're supposed to call it. However, I was like, that goal that night was I wanted to get a New Year's Eve kiss or New Year's Day kiss from Cindy. I hope I don't mess these names up.
I'm going to botch these names so bad.
So, that was my goal. So, anybody that knows me knows if I'm out and about and I'm having a good time, I'm living my best life, as the kids say. I'm not paying attention to time and space and all this other stuff. I'm just there to tear the club up and have a good time. So, I kind of wander off into my own little world. Just, like I said, tearing the club up with anybody and everybody I could find. And, Mary, this other girl, who was just a friend, who, I will tell the side note of the story that Justin tried to get with and struck out with, came up to me as I'm wandering around and said, "Hey, Big Lee, do you know what time it is?" Anybody that knows me knows that I hardly ever know what time it is. And I say, I don't know. Why? And she said, it's midnight. And I said, midnight? And then next thing I know, she has me in one of them deadly lip locks. And it is the New Year's celebration. Now, like I said in the beginning of this story,
It's only half true what you're telling.
no, I did not get to kiss the girl that I wanted to, nor did I get to explain to the girl that I kissed the wrong person. It was forced upon me. Almost I was taken advantage of. So, and she did not look happy, the girl that I wanted to kiss. So, I don't know if that meant I was in good for that night until that happened, or I just think I was in good.
So I was sitting next to her.
To Cindy.
Yeah, that's what we're going to go with.
Yeah.
She was pissed because you went to the bar to grab the champagne for our midnight New Year's Eve toast. And so when it came for New Year's, they're going 10, 9, 8. You're on the dance floor with what's her face? I can't remember. Mary.
Yeah.
And in my view, it didn't look too forced, bro.
It was forced because I had no idea what time it was or hearing them counting down or anything like that. Which to my defense, a lot of strange things happened at this place. You remember the foreign exchange girls?
That wasn't there. That was at Margarita Mama's.
No, they were all. There was a night where they were also there at Slingers, and they were supposed to come back with us, and we was going to continue the party afterwards. And something happened, and they never ended up coming over or something.
I don't think I was there that night.
And did you go? Was it me and the other Justin, or was it me, you, and him, or just me and you that ended up going to the foreign exchange house party?
That was all three of us. I remember that night.
Okay. Because they were, it was the craziest thing. Like, I don't know if you remember this, because it was one of the things that stuck out to me that night. Was, one of them was getting ready to go back home. And she was like, hey, I need you to take care of something for me when I leave. And I was like, what? So I don't remember if she went down the street to her apartment or she went out to her car, and she brought back a tiny marijuana plant. And it's like, tried to give it to us, and we're like, no, we cannot have this. That's a terrible idea. You shouldn't even be out here carrying it around with you, because if that's the case, you won't be going back if you get busted with that. So, but yeah, that happened. So, what else is on your timeline here? I'm sure there's more adventures of us going out, including,
Margarita Mama's. That was a pretty sweet place.
Yeah, Margarita Mama's was a fun place. First and only time I've ever been to a foam party.
That's for the $5 drink, like pitcher drinks.
Yeah.
Like mixed.
And the $1 hot dogs.
Oh, well, that was like outside.
Yeah. So, like, I mean, you can go in and out. It's not like they really cared.
No.
And they had a guy that ID'd people when you walked in there. But it was like the dumbest thing because everybody knew it was like an 18 and up bar. But they still had a guy to ID. I don't know if it was just for looks. But I always felt like the guy really stared at my ID. And I was thinking, wait, everybody knows this is an 18 and up bar. And I'm like 20 something at the time. Why are you keep staring at my ID so much? So. But yeah, there was that. There was an incident there that. Can we tell the story about the incidents? Or do we need to leave that for another time?
Yeah, you and I didn't do it, so I think we can tell it. This was not us. I mean, we were just trying to have a good time.
So, there was a night that we all went to Margarita Mama's. And this was when I was working at, I don't want to say the name of the place because that little whole legality thing. We'll say...
You have a lot of legal issues.
How long have you known me?
Like, I just saying, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, let's not, because I don't want to deal with the cease and desist or defamation of character. But I worked for a retail place.
Green and yellow logo.
Yes, a green and yellow logo. No, I didn't work for John Deere. But, So, me and Justin, the other Justin, not Justin that's here now, were working there. And Justin met a customer that came into the store. He was a foreign exchange guy. And it's his first, what was it, his first week or something in Cape, in America.
He was brand new to America.
Yeah. So, Justin invited me. I was like, hey, a few of us are going out tonight. Do you want to go out with us as dance club? And we're like, just kind of looking at him. Like, you're inviting a stranger, but he's like, yeah. So, anyways, we're all cool. So we go. This was a good night for us at Margarita Mama's. When I say good night, I'm talking like we each found us a potential girlfriend. Not as in like, oh, hey, we talk like, oh, hey, let's go hang out after Margarita Mama's. So,
I wasn't going to call my girlfriend, but if that's the direction you want to go to make yourself feel better, that's okay.
Hey, some of us have dignity in class.
You know I have no standards.
Well, apparently. We'll get to that later. He did try to go after Mary.
Hey.
The only person that struck out with Mary in history.
5 2s equals 110.
That's true. But you'd have to get at least the 5 2s first.
And Ken's blowing up your phone.
I know, right? Exactly.
He probably knows you with me right now.
Probably is what it is. He's probably afraid we're going to plot.
The whole 19 Twitter followers is a pretty big deal, I heard.
Exactly. You know, I'm surprised they haven't verified you at that.
Yeah.
So anyways, back to the story. So we're all hanging out. It's a good time. Once again, we're living our best life before living your best life was a phrase. And this, you know what? I'm going to let Justin tell this part.
No, you got it, bro.
So, I had to get another drink of Coca-Cola there.
Don't lie. It's your strawberry margarita.
It's Coca-Cola.
No.
Don't let him fool you. But, anyways, so we're all out there, like, it's getting close to closing time. So we're all we're all out talking, getting ready to head back. And this guy, this foreign exchange student, I forgot the kid's name, probably because we never talked to him after this.
No, because he pissed me off.
He decided to come up to one of the girls that we were all out there with and just play a game of grab-a-boob. And he thought that was perfectly okay. Well, let me tell you, as soon as he did that, yeah, we all went home alone that night. And we were not happy. Did you say that's a fitting ending to that story?
I wouldn't say it was a grab, it was more a juggle.
A juggle?
It was kind of like he went behind and go, bah, 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 bah.
For those of y'all that could see this,
oh yeah,
he does the hand motion every time he sees it or says it. So make sure if you see him out in public to ask him to do the hand motion for you. So, yeah, we had some times at Margarita Mama's, but I don't think that's still the story I'm talking about. I'm sure if you pull up your, I don't know. First off, like he has this itinerary of things to talk about, and he has it on his phone. He never sent it to me, so
no,
he showed
because I knew you would not be prepared.
Well, apparently we're not doing very well with the timeline here.
Well, you only have like 10 people who listen to this.
Oh, that's true.
So,
and probably half of them are tuned out by now.
Yeah, because we've talked for like an hour about a bunch of BS.
So, here's the thing. I'm sure half the people have turned it off by now, and the other half are still listening just because they're like, wait, how much of this actually happened?
But hopefully all of them have followed me on the Twitter.
That's right. Did you ever find out what your Twitter is?
No. I think it is Justin Allen Lane.
Okay. We'll need to verify that before we end the podcast. So, let me pull this up here and see what he has. Let's see here. Oh.
We're going with the incorrect name story?
Well, I was going to ask you, is that the name that you have on here, is that the incorrect, is that the name swap or is that her actual name? I don't remember.
That's a name swap, so we'll call her Sarah.
Okay, so we're actually going to call this girl Sarah because that's what he put in his notes. So you go ahead and tell this story. This is more your story than mine. I was just there.
See, this is going to make me sound like a bad person.
Buddy, we're almost an hour into this. If people haven't figured out that we're both bad people.
So I was in this relationship, if that's what you want to call it, because we were on and off a lot.
Here's the thing. This girl that he was in... Oh, I remember this girl's real name now. So, just to tell this side of the story, and in defense of the guy that he's going to talk about in this story, we all thought that this girlfriend he had was made up because he never brought her around us, which us is me and the other Justin and our friends. We never seen or met this girl until even after they broke up. We had never met her, even though I may have had a mutual contact.
Yeah, so at this point, I'd like to make sure to say we were actually off during this time, but I talked to her a lot about you guys, and so I was talking to this other female at the bar, and our other buddy Justin, without thinking about it, walked up to me and goes, "Oh, are you Sarah? It's nice to meet you." Well, it wasn't Sarah. So this other female got extremely pissed off.
Yeah. And that's pretty well the end of that story.
Yeah, that was a very short, shitty story.
So
let's just go ahead and skip to the trips we've taken.
Before we get to that, let me tell a little bit of extra of that story. Not too much, but with that is it was kind of strange because I was trying to holler at this girl, which this girl ended up being completely crazy. Like, I mean, completely crazy.
Oh, the girl I was talking to?
No, the girl I was trying to holler at that time that was there at the bar that night.
Well, the girl you kissed on New Year's Eve?
No. The girl that tried to convince me to pay for her abortion.
Yeah, let's don't get political here.
No, like that you don't remember this?
Yeah, I do.
Like, first off, I'd never been with this girl. I just known her through a mutual friend, and then we became friends.
Lovers.
No, we were never lovers or anything like that. But one day, she just randomly came over and asked me to pay for her to get an abortion, which is... Yep. If you're wondering, yep, Justin just farted. That shows you the kind of people... I'm having a serious conversation here, and that shows you what I have to deal with. So anyways, yeah, she was a little different. But, anyways, no, the kid... She ended up having the kid.
That's good,
it wasn't my kid, because like I said, we never hooked up or anything. The closest thing we ever did was hug. So...
That's good. I mean...
But anyways, she was there that night. And she was kind of dumbfounded when all this went down because this girl was legitimately mad. The other Justin felt absolutely horrible. This Justin was so mad. And I'm just sitting over here talking to this girl, and she's like, "What's going on over there?" And then once I told her the story, her face just turned like 9 shades of red. I was like, wait, what? So...
Because she lost respect for both Justins. Which is not the first time that's happened.
No.
Probably will not be the last.
So we're not going to tell the story about you striking out with Mary?
Nah, let's not talk about that.
That'll be another story for another episode.
Yeah, that wasn't really all my fault. I was in a pretty low place in life during that time.
I mean, especially strike out with Mary, that was really low.
Yeah.
So, anyways, what's next on the topic here? You said trips.
Yeah,
we talking about us cuddling.
Yes, let's go to C2E2, and the first time I trusted you to book a hotel room. And
which I think was the last time.
The last time. So let's go ahead and tell them what happened.
So it's actually funny because when I got your text message today about recording, I was just right before I got on the phone with Mom, and I was telling her, I was like, yeah, we're going to hear tell some of these stories about our adventures. Probably tell the story about why I'm not allowed to book a hotel. And I thought that she would really take my side on this. But she's like, oh, I don't blame him. First off, anybody that knows me, unless it comes to wrestling or concerts,
you're a cheap ass.
I'm cheap.
You can cuss too, it's okay. I've already broke that barrier.
Some of us are remaining professional here. So anyways, I'm cheap. I wouldn't say cheap, frugal. Nah, I should say cheap.
We're both cheap, dude.
Yeah.
Like, we will avoid paying a hotel room if we can drive back.
This is true, even though Justin doesn't like to drive back.
No, I just drink coffee, and I complain the entire time.
That is correct. So, on a side note of all this, it's the funniest thing that you'll see is if I go pick Justin, if I'm driving, I go pick Justin up, and it's summertime. Justin will have on long pants and a hoodie, and it'll be 100 degrees outside, because apparently I keep it too cold in the car for him.
It's like
I'm surprised he's not freezing right now.
It's like 45 in your car.
Yes. So for those of y'all that like cold cars to ride in, hit your boy Big Lee up. So, anyways, do you remember how we ended up at the hotel?
So it was in Champaign, Illinois, right?
Right.
And I let you book it. Was it a Motel 6 or something like that? Or
I don't even know if it was that. It was something like.
I don't even think it was that classic.
I think it was like America's Best Value Inn or something.
Yeah, that's what it was. We have one here in Cape actually now.
Because it's the old Super 8, right?
Yeah.
And it was something else before that. Or is it? It's not even America's Best Value anymore. I think it's something else now.
I think it was American's Best Value Inn that we stayed at, though.
Okay. So,
but we pull up, and the first sign that's
hold
in
on.
the crappy hotels there's barbed wire fence.
No, that's not true. So let me correct his story already. So we ended up going to Champaign because we normally would take the train from Carbondale to Chicago to Union Station. However, in this situation, we ran into a problem where there was an issue with the train and it could only go so far, and we'd have to bus it from like DuQuoin to Champaign and get on the train from Champaign to Chicago. So we're just like, you know what? Before we do all that, we'll just drive to Champaign and stay there. Because we stayed there that Friday night and that Saturday night because we didn't want to stay in Chicago because it's cheaper to stay in Champaign. So Justin's like, hey, go ahead and book the hotel for us. I'm like, okay, no problem. So I book it. It was a very good deal. I'm talking like $30-something a night.
I wonder why.
I'm happy. So we pull up there, go in. If he's seen the barbed wire, I didn't see the barbed wire until we got into the room. So we get into the room. First off, I may have went the cheapest route and only got one bed.
And it wasn't just one bed. It was a small one bed. Like, this is like a full-size bed that we're sleeping in.
Yes. So, anybody knows, I'm 6 foot, big old boy. Justin Lane's pretty close to 6 foot, even though he's not a big old boy. He's still a tall old boy. And also, we find out that we're going to share a bed because neither one of us wants to sleep on the floor. So, anyways, we're mentally preparing ourselves for this.
So you hotwire this, right?
I don't even think I hotwired it.
You went the cheap-ass route. I know that.
Like, I don't know if I just Googled something that was like, oh, hey, what's hotels in Champaign?
For $30 a night.
Yeah, I would hope if it was on hotwire, it was like $15. But anyways, so we go and I pull a curtain back to look outside to see what's there. And up and behold, there's like right outside the window is a chain link fence with barbed wire around it. And that kind of set the mood for it, which is actually kind of interesting because I remember that first night, Justin slept like the dead of night, and I stayed awake. I could not sleep for anything.
To be fair, you had your arm cuddled around me all night, so
Hey.
I felt pretty comfortable and safe.
For anybody that needs a cuddler, your boy Big Lee's a good cuddler.
He's a world-class cuddler.
Right. If there was a cuddling championship, your boy would be undefeated lifetime.
Any girls on the Tinder, just swipe right now.
Exactly.
Like it's.
Or if you follow the page at Big Lee's World on Facebook, or if you follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Big Lee 756, and you're looking for a good cuddler, hit your boy Big Lee up, slide into them DMs, and let me know. Anyways, so that first night, Justin slept like the dead of the night, and I'm wide awake. I think a lot of it was anticipation to meet CM Punk and Jay from Jay and Silent Bob.
And they 5-time.
Yeah, no, that was
WCW
just a cheap photo op, just to upset Justin. But anyways, so I didn't sleep. He slept like dead at night. We came back the next night, and
You want
apparently,
a fruity drink?
no, I still have my cup of Coca-Cola, sir. Thank you. Anyways, so we get back that night. He stayed awake, and I slept like the dead of night. So I think it was just the excitement, because I can tell you, Justin's nowhere near as good of a cuddler as I am.
Now, I'm not huge in the whole cuddle experience.
Yeah,
Yeah, I just not a big fan of that. Like, it's kind of like, stay away from me.
I just think that's what most females think of you in general.
Yeah, it's a good call. So I just
Yeah.
try to respect them. And, it's like, I'm just going to stay away from you.
I think they would actually have to be in contact with them for you to respect them and give them their distance.
Oh, that's easy. Just get them drunk enough.
Yeah. Once again, that is Justin Allen Lane on Twitter. So, you want to verify your Twitter while we talk about this now?
No, because people are, by this point in the podcast, I think I'm a really bad person.
Once again, it's Justin Allen Lane on Twitter. You can look him up on Facebook. He's not very active on there, but
No, I think I had a Facebook post about 6 months ago,
yeah.
and I did finally find out how to retweet the other day. I don't know how to tweet like myself though yet, so we'll have to go over that.
I mean, there's that little circle, it's the tweet button that you press to write your tweet. Ken Murphy's on Twitter. Ken Murphy's on Twitter. Anybody can be.
I don't really understand the whole pound sign deal.
The hashtag?
I'm going to call it pound sign.
Was a hashtag in this generation. You
Kids.
know, hashtag blessed.
Millennials. Screw them.
Actually,
I might be a millennial.
I was going to say, the way the timeline works out, like, there's millennials, which I think is us, and then there's something after this now. Or, like, there's the millennials split, and there's, like, 2 versions of millennials, and then there's something after that now.
Yeah. I think I would have been better off in, like, the 70s.
Well, I mean, you have the tech savvies of someone that would be good in the 70s, so...
Yeah. No, I'm just really good at convincing people to pay me, but I really don't do a whole lot of work.
Yeah.
Like, that's a skill in itself. So.
Yeah, there's always that. So, anyways, C2E2 was a fun time.
Yeah, we got to meet CM Punk. That was really cool.
We got to meet CM Punk.
And then we were both idiots and paid $50 for an autograph of our photo.
Yeah, at least I got to keep mine. What did you end up doing with yours?
It's probably somewhere in my storage closet area. I don't know. Like, he only, like, halfway signed mine. Like, his ink ran out, so I got, like, a C, like a P, basically, so.
Well.
But also, I had the opportunity to meet Stan Lee. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. Stan Lee, yeah. I never met the guy.
Do you regret not doing that photo op now?
Honestly, no. And let me tell you why I don't regret not meeting Stan Lee. Anybody that knows me knows I'm not a big comic fan at all. Not at all. Like, I haven't read a comic book probably since the early 90s when I realized I wasn't a fan. Anything that I did, like, as far as, like, I'm not a fan of the comic movies and things like that, the only one I really did care for was The Punisher.
That was a good movie.
So,
and a good Netflix show, too.
You know, I've only made it through the first season. I've got to get through the second season.
It's really good. That and Jessica Jones. I recommend both of those highly.
I'm just now in the second season of The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina.
That's good, too. I've only watched the first season.
The second season's kind of slow and dark. And when I mean dark, like, you kind of got to pay attention to it, really, because it's filmed so darkly. Like, I guess that's the word, darkly. But, like...
Hey, it's your podcast. So
right, exactly. So, it's like... I don't know what it is, but, like, you almost got to, like, start turning your brightness up on your TV to see it the way it's cut, or the way it's filmed. So you're just kind of like, wait, what? So, anyways, back to the point, though. No, I don't regret it because I just... For someone that's a big comic fan, it would be a great honor. To me, it's just meeting somebody else. And I respect what he did, or does. But it's for me, it just you know, it's kind of like, you know, you didn't meet Jay from Jay and Silent Bob.
Yeah, it wasn't a huge deal to me.
Right. So I mean, and this kind of thing is like with some of these giant comic cons is they're just, you know, there's so many different types of people that go to it, and there's different types of people you can meet there. So it's a little bit for everybody. So, I mean, it's just kind of like one person may want to meet, and then the other person may not, so, which is really kind of a bland description there, but anyway, so, like, we met them. I asked you this the other day. Do you regret doing that Booker T book op thing?
Yes and no. So the way that was, like, sold is Booker T was only going to be there for 2 hours. And in order to get a photo op, you had to buy his brand new book. And he would sign it and take a photo op. I think it was for like $40, something like that. And so I did that. And my whole time I was doing that, one of my best friends is a huge Booker T fan. It's like, I'm going to give him the book, right, as a present. He was actually getting married that summer. But then I was really pissed off when, like, that was a lie. And I should probably stop using my hands because the people in the podcast world cannot see my hands.
Yeah, that's true.
We should probably get a YouTube channel.
Oh, Lord.
But yeah, and then, like, you know, so I get done. So you were in line to get that AT&T lady's photo and signature, right?
No.
Yeah, because they were doing that show about space or whatever.
No. Like, I think I'd already been through that line at that time.
So whatever, I did the Booker T deal, and then, like, that ends. He literally walks right across the aisle and was doing, like, $10 photo ops.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is a little horse shit. I got just paid $40.
Yeah, that was, I got one of them $10 photo ops. I remember, so I think if I remember right, it was, I had just met Jay from Jay and Silent Bob, and you did the Booker T deal.
I was afraid his time was going to run out. And I was like, I just need to do this now. So,
and we were both meeting up after that because we wanted to get a picture with Del Rio, but Del Rio wouldn't stand in the photos.
Yeah, which is kind of crappy.
So, and it just so happened that here came Booker T over. And I just asked for a photo, and he was like, it's like $10 or whatever. So, it was ended up being worth it. Just like I met the 5-time champion for $10. I guess it's $2 a time.
Even though I was really disappointed in you, because when you came up, he goes, "What do you want?" I really wanted you to say, "Head." Instead, you just said, "I want a photo op, sir."
Yeah?
Yeah, I was really disappointed as a friend.
I mean, he probably wouldn't. I don't know if he would have got the reference.
Oh, he knows who Al Snow is.
Yeah, but you got to understand how it is being around wrestling fans a lot. Yeah, I said it.
Wrestling or wrestling?
A little bit of both. I mean, so what other adventures you got on here? I'm sure you got the one about Days of the Dead.
We got Days of the Dead. We went to 2 of those, right?
Yeah, the kid that spit the Mountain Dew in my face in the hot tub.
Oh, I forgot about that. The Jury Inn in Indianapolis. You were
Terre Haute.
pissed. Oh, it was Terre Haute, you're right, because we couldn't afford the Indianapolis one.
We were too cheap.
Never too cheap. I forgot about that. So we were in the hot tub at Terre Haute, which I didn't realize till recently. Like, Terre Haute is they have a huge prison there that holds like some of the worst criminals in the world. Like the guy who did the Boston Marathon bombing. Like that's where he's at.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. It was crazy to think about.
I knew that Terre Haute's big in running meth. Cause I seen that in one of the documentaries.
But yeah, that kid spit the Mountain Dew in your face in the hot tub, and the mom didn't do anything about it.
Oh, I almost lost my cool so bad.
You were pissed. That is probably the most pissed off I've ever seen you.
Yeah, because I mean, what do you do? Some kid why the kid was drinking Mountain Dew in the hot tub?
Yeah, that was such a redneck family too.
Yeah. The man. I remember, I think that was when I was so mad, I took a copy of the Devil's Rejects Blu-ray to get signed that next day in Indianapolis. And I left it at the hotel. I was so mad. Man. So yeah, we had 2 adventures there.
Which is crazy because Jury Inn's normally a pretty nice hotel chain to stay at. Which is one reason I like to count.
Justin don't like to stay anywhere where there's lower class people.
No, there's a certain a quality you get. Like you stay at a Jury Inn, a Holiday, and you know what you're gonna get. You say the piece of crap you booked this in Champaign, Illinois. Not only did we have to cuddle, but I'm pretty sure that bed hadn't been cleaned a year. So,
well, that's probably fair too. But now I was gonna say, talking about
But the first Days of the Dead was Shawn Michaels, right?
Yeah, and I offended Shawn Michaels. I'm pretty sure.
Dude, come on, he hooked up with Sonny. How much can you really?
Yeah, but that was pre-religion. Do you not remember this?
That was pre-religion, yeah.
No, so you want to talk about two swords against you, I guess is the way to put it. So I was behind this guy who was in his photo op for Shawn Michaels, and he wanted to do the Diesel Shawn Michaels pose, and Shawn had got kind of flustered because the guy wanted to do the Shawn Michaels part of it, and he wanted Shawn Michaels to do the Diesel part. So he was already flustered. And then at Days of the Dead, how this works is you get your print-off copy right then and there, and then they email you later on the digital copy if you purchased it. So I go, and I had just did the one with Bill Moseley to where he's dressed as the satanic priest from House of a Thousand Corpses.
I'm paying attention. I'm also looking at Tinder at the same time, I promise.
Yeah, I know. I was just trying to get my thoughts together.
I was really going to want your opinion.
Anyways, like you did at the beginning of the podcast when we started recording. Anyway, so I go, and as I go to hand the picture to someone to hold while I take the picture with Shawn Michaels, he looks down and he sees the picture of me with this satanic-looking priest, and he is not very happy. So...
Was that before you or after you in that photo op?
I think you were after me.
I remember that photo op didn't turn out very well for me, though. I was kind of disappointed in that.
But I've had some strands of luck there with that because the same time was the next year, I met Lita there. And the guy right before me asked her to do the Matt Hardy finger gesture.
I remember that, yeah.
And she was just so frustrated then, which I don't blame her. So what do you want my opinion on over here? So the podcasters can see, or can't see which Tinder matches you're looking at.
Nah, I'm done. I just swiped right. I just played the odds.
Are the odds ever in your favor?
No, this is not Hunger Games.
So what other adventures you got here?
Well, we can know what days it is. So days that went pretty well. We met Shawn Michaels there.
I see the other one on the list.
Second year we met Mr. Steve Borden.
No, I didn't. You did.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
I thought
you met Linda Blair, right?
Yeah, I met Linda Blair. Great
Yeah.
woman, by the way. Linda Blair from The Exorcist.
So-
She does a lot with dogs. She's out of St. Louis. So if you want to, make sure to hit her up. Check out her dog rescue she does. It's a great cause.
So let's go ahead and go to 2013 TNA House Show.
2013.
This was a cluster. You know what? I'm trying not to cuss anymore because I think I've blown your PG rating.
So this, to me, like I feel like this. You said earlier, that was the maddest you'd ever seen me. But I think this probably would have classified as the maddest you've ever seen me.
So if you remember right, like I had to work that day. This Saturday, we had I work at a hospital. We had an upgrade, and so I was like, dude, I'm not getting there like right at showtime, so I'm gonna miss the VIP meet and greet. Like it sucks. I don't want to miss it. And you text me and you're like, it's not happening. Like, what do you mean it's not happening? He's like, something's going on. I'll let you know. So I get there, and like we walk in, and like they didn't do any meet and greet. And then remember the seats they gave us?
I was going to say, that time, Justin looked half embarrassed, half terrified for the staff there at the building. Because we were ticket number 1 and 2, however, on the front row. However, there's the way they had the seats set up, that actually ended up pushing us like 5, well, it technically been 5 rows back. And we paid front row pricing for it. So, I may have been a little hostile when I went to the box office. But also, to tell you how bad the show sold, which I'll get into in a little bit, is they were still able to move me front row seats to front row center after all this happened because they still had them available. So, anyways, go ahead with your story.
Well, you're doing a good job. And I remember, they originally gave us those seats that were the front row, but they were 5 rows deep. And you went like a V line for the box office.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there behind you. I'm like, I'm with this guy. And you went off on that poor lady.
I mean, at this time I was still just a fan, and I'm just like, this is bad business. So,
But once we get there, I believe it was Bruce Pritchard that came out, if I remember right.
no.
I'm almost positive it was, dude.
No, it was JJ or something.
He wasn't the one who made the announcement, though. I'm almost positive it was Bruce Pritchard who came out and made the announcement that they had a problem with the Missouri Commission, whatever it was. And so they had like a 4-match show. I'm trying to look it up right now as we go.
Because I thought it was the guy that replaced Don West.
No, he didn't make the announcement. So they literally had
So,
4
matches. So while
on a
Justin's
show.
looking this up, just to kind of give y'all a background on the state of Missouri and how wrestling works here. Anytime you run wrestling here as a promoter, you got to be licensed, bonded, and insured for each event. So your license, I believe, is a 2-year license, and I think your bond is every year. It may be 2 years now. And then you got to have insurance plus for each event, plus you got to have a permit. And each one of your wrestlers has to have license, blood work. So, in order for that, like, it makes wrestling very expensive, and people tend to screw up getting that, and they're not able to wrestle. So go ahead.
So the first match is Bully Ray versus James Storm in a Cape Girardeau street fight.
Yep.
And if you remember right, the street fight was the head of mop.
Yes. Because also in the state of Missouri, you cannot use any weapons that will puncture the skin, and you cannot go out into the crowd and fight.
So Devon defeated Gunner, Samoa Joe defeated Bobby Roode, which is kind of cool. You know, we saw Gunner and James Storm again defeat Aces of 8 versus Bully Ray and Devon.
Which one was the one that got your beer drank?
That would have been the first match. I bought like an $8 beer, man. And I had it on the Bud Light in the front row, and James Storm walks out, and he just comes around like, what kind of beer is that? I was like, Bud Light. He chugs that mother.
Yeah.
And we have beef to this day.
Yeah, there's a few of us that have. not the best thoughts of James Storm.
And that show itself only lasted like an hour and a half. To be fair, I've always liked him as a person.
Yeah.
And I know you have more interaction with him because you came to CCW and stuff like that. But yeah, but he was always been cool.
So, in order to make up for this show, instead of canceling it because half the people couldn't wrestle, they ended up, everybody in the first couple of rows got a free photo with
Jeff
Jeff
Hardy.
Hardy.
And then everybody got a meet and greet backstage with all the wrestlers.
which was exciting to me because I wanted to meet one person in particular, Bubba Ray Dudley, a.k.a. Bully Ray.
And how'd that photo turn out for you?
That photo turned out absolute trash.
Who took that photo for you?
This guy named Justin Lane took that photo for him. And let me tell you, he has not lived it down to this day. He'll never live it down. Luckily, I've gotten 2 photos with Bubba Ray since, so it's not as frustrating.
So do you remember when you met Adam Cole? You were so excited to meet Adam Cole, and I took the photo, and I go, "Hold on, Mr. Cole. I want to check this photo." He goes, "What's up?" "I messed up his Bully Ray photo. I don't want to mess up this photo with you."
And Adam Cole was super cool about it.
He was cool about it. He's like, "Dude, I don't blame you."
So I will say, of all the people I've met in the wrestling business, Adam Cole's probably one of the nicest people I've ever met.
Oh, he was really nice because he had a pretty decent line. He let me go back and check the photo because this has been in 2014, 15.
Right.
You know, it took a little while to go back and check the photo back then. I mean, it wasn't
Right.
for me being non-phone savvy.
Especially considering somebody when we got there didn't want to meet Adam Cole.
But I did for $10.
Yeah, because your boy talked you into it. So, you're welcome for that, by the way. I've always got your best interests.
For the peer pressure?
Yep. And do you think you made the right decision now?
Well, I don't regret it now.
So, I mean, look at that. See? I've always got my friend's best interest at heart, even though they don't always have mine with the Bully Ray photo.
No, I had your best interest at heart. I was just took a bad photo.
Now, I give him a hard time about this a lot, but in his defense, everybody was packed in there, and Bully did not really want to participate in it. Devon and the rest of the Aces and Eights were all super nice guys.
Oh, yeah, I remember I met Bischoff, Garrett Bischoff.
Yeah.
He was extremely nice.
Oh, yeah, super.
Him and Briscoe.
Yeah. Because, and like I said, Devon's like super nice as well. What was it? We met Bobby Roode there. He was
okay. Gunner was nice. We met
Gail Kim.
Kim. What was that other lady's name? Brooke Adams.
Yep, Brooke Teslocker.
Yeah, she was very nice.
Yeah. Joe was nice.
Oh yeah.
I feel like we met. Oh, Angle. We met Angle backstage.
Yeah. He was kind of iffy. He was kind of like, "I don't want to do this crap," but
Right. Yeah. He kind of was like, "This doesn't seem fair, but okay, I'll do it
Yeah.
anyways because I signed with TNA." So let's fast forward here to we talked earlier about WrestleCon, and are you comfortable talking about WrestleCon 2018? I don't need you to when I first did this podcast, the first episode, I talked about there would be some tearjerker stories. So some of y'all that listened to the episode before this, when I talked about Chris passing, that was a very, very tough one. Now, if you listen to Justin tell this story, he's probably going to rank this story up there with the passing of a loved one.
No,
So
I'm
anyways,
not
go ahead.
going to rank it up there. But first of all, I had a bad experience at WrestleMania 30 WrestleCon.
So now, wait. So first off, I'm terrible with WWE stuff. So this was, you said WrestleMania 30. Now, how far back was this from the one that me and you went to last year?
So WrestleMania 30 was also in New Orleans. We went to 34 New Orleans, I believe.
Okay.
So WrestleMania 30 New Orleans, they booked all these huge stars, but they did the check-in like an indie event. So they had one person checking all the names, and he had probably 1,000 people out there.
Mm-hmm.
It was pouring down rain. And so they had one promoter. I did like a VIP deal. I was supposed to meet Edge and Piper and Jimmy Snuka, Steiner Brothers, all that stuff. It took like 2 hours to get in the door, and then I was fortunate to actually get the photo with all of them. It was very rushed, but like half the people didn't get it, so it was a total cluster. You know what?
Mm-hmm.
So we fast forward to WrestleMania 34. Apparently, they fixed all their crap the past 3 years, and so I was a huge NWO Wolfpack guy growing up. I mean, that was who I supported. So I bought a photo op with Mr. Steve Borden.
For those of y'all that don't know, Steve Morton is Sting.
I call him Steve after our last interaction. So I've met this guy a previous time, so we stand in line for probably about an hour waiting for this photo op. During this time, Lee texts me a photo he got from Mr. Steve at his table. And then the Wolfstar photo people who can go wrap up their photo booth company showed up their ass, in my opinion. Then tells us, well, he's not showing up. We fucked up so bad that he's just left the building. And so I missed out on my opportunity to get a Wolfpack photo with him.
So, to give a little background to a lot of this, one, Sting usually like once a year does the red and black face paint, if that. So it was a very rare opportunity to get the photo with him. I have not had the best experiences in the world meeting Sting due to a TNA event in Jonesboro, Arkansas, to where he was screaming at a kid and all this other stuff. So anyways, like I said at the beginning of this, we were talking, like I'm more of an indie guy and a deathmatch guy. So I'm just wandering around because we had to be there super early for Justin to meet Sting. So I'm just wandering around. I got to meet one of my favorites, Nick Gage, sitting at a table, at the GCW table. Shout out to Nick Gage, Murder, Death, Kill Gang, representing at the GCW table. So got to talk to him. It was super nice. Walked around, talked to some other people. And so he has to, Justin has to get up and go to the bathroom there now.
You know I announce that every time.
So anyways, I'm walking around, and I see Sting sitting at his table. And I'm just kind of like, well, there's Sting sitting there. I wonder how he's going to be if I go up and talk to him. And he's got his red and black because only one day of this event. So the event's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And if I remember right, Sting was only there Friday and Saturday. And only Friday they did the red and black paint. The other day was just the traditional black and white face paint. So I'm walking over. There's like 2 people in his line maybe. So I'm standing over there in line, and I go up and I talk to his table worker, and I said, hey, is Sting just signing autographs here, or is he taking photos with people? And the guy's like, oh yeah, Sting's taking photos. He told me what it would be and everything, so I was like, okay, that's cool. So I paid the guy for the photo op, and I stood in line, and I go up to him, and I just start talking to him. I kind of told him about the experience I had with TNA and kind of how I felt, and he was just kind of like, yeah, that sucks, but, you know, I hope it's all better now. I was like, yeah, you're a cool dude, like, that all works for me. So take the photo and all that jazz, keep walking on. So at this time, we're in a convention center, so I'm just thinking that Justin is just kind of, you know, he's met Sting. I haven't met back up with him because we're on this convention and it's super packed and it's hard to get around. So anyways, I don't think anything about it. I sent him the picture. I was like, hey, look who I met. And Mr. Justin just sat back down to join us. And he could tell you that he did not have the nicest things to say to me once I sent him that text message.
Yeah, I was pretty pissed off. I've been standing in line for an hour waiting to do a pro photo op with that piece of crap Wolfstar photo company.
Yeah.
They're probably going to sue me now, aren't they?
I don't know. I don't think you're saying their name right, so it don't matter anyways.
Wolf Studio, whatever.
Yeah, it's not one of the things to try to chase down the name for.
Yeah, I'm not worried about. All I know is they do Days of the Dead now, which is very disappointing.
And this is probably why we didn't end up going, besides Pamela Anderson canceling.
Yeah.
So anyways, Mr. Justin was in a bad mood at me the rest of the night. I don't know why he was mad at me for.
But to be fair, you hugged it out with me.
Do what?
You gave me a huge cuddle hug.
I did.
Yeah.
Because like I said earlier, I'm a world champion cuddler. If you're having a bad day... what are you laughing for? If you're having a bad day and you need a hug to make it all better, come see your boy Big Lee. And I'll give you an infamous, world-famous Big Lee hug. And your day will go a lot better. Which, rewind back to what I was going to tell you. Do you know I found that video of the lap dance tutorial from college?
Oh, I forgot about that. I wasn't there that night, though.
I thought you were.
No, you just sent it to me.
Yeah, so out on the interwebs is a video of me with one of the foreign exchange students where we were all hanging out at my apartment over by campus at the time. And she had never heard of what a strip club was or what a lap dance was.
And we have never been to one.
Right, we've never been to one, even though we talked about Stormy Daniels earlier. But anyways,
No, that was you. That was not me.
right. So anyways,
I'm a class act.
right, Justin's a class act. Anyways, so I decided to explain to her what a lap dance was and show her how it went and videotape it. So that was a good time. So any other exciting endeavors from WrestleCon weekend?
No, but we both got to meet Edge, right? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, we both met Edge. We both met Steve Austin.
Steve Austin was really amazing experience.
Yeah, that was like on the bucket list.
I was extremely nervous when I met him. Like, you walk in that photo booth, I was like shaking.
Really?
I was like, holy crap, this is Stone Cold Steve Austin.
See, I think I was more nervous meeting Undertaker.
Yeah, that line was so long, Undertaker. Like, I just
So
got
rewind
tired.
to like a month before this, we had the great idea to go to Knoxville, Tennessee, for a fundraiser to meet Kane and the Undertaker. So basically, they charge you a nominal fee, and you got 2 autographs and a photo with Kane and the Undertaker. Now, this was very poorly done in the fact of like they oversold it by about 3 times. So the meet and greet went way longer than it should have. They didn't explain to us that we're getting pro photos, so now we're getting there's someone taking a photo with our phone, but they also have a pro photo set up that they're not telling us really about. And the pictures they took with our phones looked terrible. So we went to say something to them about it. One of the pro photo people came up and gave us their card and said, "Hey, we're actually getting a pro photo of this." Which what they didn't tell you was you got a poor quality of the photo, but if you wanted the full res, like to print out or something like that, you had to actually go to their website and pay I printed mine out. You had to pay like $10 for it. So Justin's here looking at the wall of the notorious Big Lee's Boom Boom Room. So I noticed it when he walked in, so just to kind of explain to him really quick, and for those of y'all that have been here, you know this, but those of you who haven't, it started at one end, it's an autographed poster of the band Korn. The next one is when I went to Chicago for a deathmatch tournament called the Nick Gage Invitational 3. It came with a photo with you taking with all the wrestlers that were participants in the tournament. Steve Austin, Smash Mouth, which we'll get to. One of my favorite death metal bands, Abort It. Shout out to Ken from Abort It. Big wrestling fan. Thanks for all the support. And then with Undertaker and Kane. So this is one of those final stories to wrap this up here because I know this is going a little bit longer. And there will definitely be more episodes with me and him together, especially after we go to Chicago for All Out and StarCast.
We should probably just record in Chicago.
Yeah, we probably should, but knowing us, we probably won't. I was going to talk to you about the mobile rig that I'm working on now as far as like doing podcasts. But, so, Smash Mouth. If you haven't figured out from these stories, Justin, first off, if you meet me in person, which I'm sure most of you listeners have, unless you just have some terrible friends that are playing a prank on you, making you listen to us ramble on about our history.
For an hour and a half.
Yeah. Most of you know that I'm a little bit more into like hardcore death metal extreme things. And if you meet Justin, he is like the bipolar opposite of that. He eats healthy, he takes care of himself. He's your clean-cut good old boy. Versus me, who's on the bigger side, enjoys Coca-Cola and fried chicken and death metal and deathmatch wrestling.
Strawberry margaritas.
Coca-Cola, like I said. Anyways, so, one of the things that we do have in common that we enjoy is the 90s band Smash Mouth. Because, hey now, we're an all-star. So anyways, we've been working on in years trying to work a date out to where both of us could go see them together. And it just so... How did we even find out about this show? They are coming to Tunica, Mississippi.
Tunica, and it was actually the day after my 30th birthday.
Was it?
And so we were looking for I was looking for something to do that weekend.
Right.
I was like, man, Smash Mouth's in Tunica. It's like 2.5 hours away, 3 hours, something like that.
Yeah, about 3 hours, yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, let's go do that.
So, we go down here. First off, everybody listen to this being like, oh man, this is going to be a wild, crazy adventure. It was Justin's birthday. They're down in Tunica where they give you all this free alcohol to gamble and stuff like that. Yeah, we still drove back the same night because we weren't drinking, and the casino's really smoky there, and neither one of us are a big fan of smoke. So,
Yeah, that was the worst experience of it, definitely. Is like, the smoke-free section was above
the smoke,
the smoking section, which makes no sense at all.
Yeah, it's... Anyways, so we both wanted to meet Smash Mouth. Like, this was a bucket list for us. We got our tickets. So immediately the first thing I start to do, go through some of my connects doing the metal thing that I did in St. Louis with Death by Metal STL. And just was coming up dry on what I could come up with as far as like a non-metal band like Smash Mouth. So the next thing I did was I reached out to the casino. And when I say I reached out to the casino, I stayed on the casino people for weeks and weeks until I could get someone to actually give me a solid answer, which was, hey, wait till closer to the event, and if we can do something, we will reach out to you. I was like, okay. So I felt like this was kind of the way for them to blow me off. So I even reached out again the week. I was like, hey, circling back around, what did you find out for it? We're not asking for a free meet and greet. Like, this is a bucket list for us, so we're willing to come out a couple dollars out of pocket for this. And they finally I'm talking like when they got back to me, because I know you was already in bed asleep. Because this was like the night before, like 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock at night, because I think I had called you and told you, I was like, hey, they said we're approved for the meet and greet. And they kind of gave us the instructions of what we needed to do. Apparently, the meet and greet was only for high rollers at the casino, but they felt sorry for us driving this far and aggravating them and bothering them to give us this meet and greet. So, we go up there. I'm excited because they're doing their, 20-year anniversary of Fuss Your Mang? For those of you who don't know, Fuss Your Mang was an album with Walking on the Sun on it.
I believe so. It was like the first time, like 15 years, the original band had been together.
Like, I don't even think the original band is back together today. I think, did they kind of split apart again?
I think they did like that one show and that was it, yeah.
So, it was a pretty big ordeal for us. So, I took a copy of Fuss Your Mang to get signed. Because most meet and greets you do, they're going to let you get something signed. Well, we get there, and we're talking to the casino security, who said,
no autographs.
No autographs, photo only. So I'm like, well, this sucks. I want to get my copy of Fuss Your Mang signed. And, but I'm still going to get a picture instead. So, I mean, I'm okay with that, because I'm getting a picture of one of my favorite bands and one of the real gateway bands to get me into, like, rock and metal. For those that don't know, the Fuss Your Mang album is actually an album that is very kind of punk ska sounding. And it's not like their other albums or what you probably know them for. So anyways, we're standing in line. And we got to the line to where the tour manager was. And he was talking about it. And I was like, hey man, yeah, we actually drove 3 hours for this because we're really big Smash Mouth fans. And he's like, oh man, that's awesome. Thanks for the support. I was like, yeah. I was like, I tell you what sucks though. And he's like, what's that? I was like, well, I brought my copy of Fuss Your Mang because I know it's the anniversary, and I was hoping to get it signed, but the security guy's like, no autographs, so it's still cool I get to meet him, but it just sucks that I can't get my album signed. So, anyways, just to kind of rewind the story back here a little bit, so they take us down in the basement to where the meet and greet is, so you get in this elevator, so they hovel us all in there, and we're standing in this line, and then that's when I talked to their tour manager, who then, after I told him my story, was just like, wait, you actually... He was kind of like, you actually know these guys? I was like, yeah. Like I said, I brought the album. He's like, so you have the album with you right now. So I pulled out of my pocket the CD, which anybody knows that I wear long baggy shorts with deep pockets, so it's not that big of a deal. So I pulled the CD out and show him, and he's like, hey man, go up there and show them. Or just, no, he said, what'd he say? Wait till the end. I was like, okay. So I go up there, and I get my photo with them, thank them for all coming out. Justin gets his, and they're getting ready to load us back on the elevator. And the tour manager says, hey, wait, this guy here actually has the Fuss Your Mang album to get signed. And all the guys are super excited because you could tell the crowd that they had to meet them there was not Smash Mouth fans. They may have heard the one song, but they were the high rollers at the casino. So, anyways, we go, and I'm going to get it signed. At the time, my best friend, Mr. Justin Lane over here, is loading back in the elevator, and the security guy says, what'd he say?
They go, where's your friend? And I rat you out like he's getting his album signed.
He straight up narked on me for getting this album signed, even though the tour manager said it was okay. And so I get back on the elevator, and the security guy's like, so you got your album signed? And all I can think of, like, I'm just so happy. I'm just like, yeah, I got my album signed. The tour manager said that I could. He's like, okay. So now, this ended up, next part being really crazy. The whole night ended up being crazy, from the singer making out to random older women in the crowd to, so they took the pictures. Now, neither one of us is a high roller at this casino. Actually, if I remember, I think it was the first time both of us went.
Oh, yeah.
And they were like, well, we'll send you the picture. And I remember going through just like trying to whatever I could to get the picture, because I'm thinking, yeah, it's got back that I got the album signed, they're not going to send me the picture. So like, what did I end up doing? Like tracking down the guy who took the photo, I got him to send us the photo. Then the casino people that I had been switching emails back and forth with emailed me the digital copy of the photos. And then like 3 months later, we got the hard copies of the picture. Now, what happened with your picture?
So I have a small mailbox. I live in an apartment complex. And so it said, do not bend. But the United States Post Office decided to bend it in half to shove it in my mailbox.
Yeah. What'd you remember doing with that picture?
I think I still have it. I don't have it framed, but I still have it.
They sent it in this like cheap paper frame that like it bent. So I ended up, well, I mean, you can see it there. I took it out of the frame and put it in another one, like a regular picture frame. So it looks a little bit better than what it did. But didn't they like email you my picture and not yours?
Yeah, I think they emailed both photos to me, actually. I forwarded it to you.
No, I thought like they didn't email you yours. Because I know I sent you yours first because I got it from the printer guy.
I'd have to go look. I can't remember.
Because I remember some crazy thing you were like, well, you ain't going to believe this. I sent me your picture instead of mine. So.
That was a very bad impression of me.
It's fair enough. I mean. So, what else is that? Were we at the end of the agenda here, sir? I feel like, we've gave them a lot of content here. A lot of stuff they're going to be like, a lot of cliffhangers maybe. So if you want to hear more, make sure you let us know.
We're going to talk about our future for our StarCast AEW, but
yeah, future StarCast like we were talking about. We're going to StarCast AEW.
All Out.
So
some DDP yoga at All Out, our StarCast.
Justin's going to do some DDP yoga. I'm probably going to hang out at the hotel. Hopefully they do another buffet deal like they did in Vegas, or like some kind of breakfast deal with Janela. So, but yeah. So, we're going to wrap this up. Mr. Lane, thank you for coming on, being the first official guest on Big Lee's World's podcast. Did you find out your Twitter handle?
Yeah, you got it right the first time. It's Justin Allen Lane.
It is Justin Allen Lane. Look at that. I know his Twitter handle more than he does.
Let's go for like 25 followers by the end of the week.
Yeah, so if you're listening to this, make sure you follow my homie Justin at Justin Allen Lane. Some of his tweets on there, don't believe. Like, he did find one the other day. He messaged me that said when he did tweet some things, of course one being that I'm never allowed to drive again. Which, man, you're really going to have to take the lead on this. You don't want me to drive, and I can't book the hotel.
Well, we kind of missed that story. So you drove, and we got stuck on Interstate 55 for like 3 hours.
I mean, it wasn't my fault. I mean, a gas tanker turned over.
And the worst part is I ate all my cookies for the trip during that 3 hours.
Right. And wasn't it like, I remember taking a pic with you there, and like the best thing about it was like the little town that it happened in, I think it was like Love, Mississippi.
Yeah.
So
we're stuck in Love, Mississippi.
Stuck together in Love, Mississippi.
Cuddled up in a car.
That's right, cuddled up in a car in Mississippi, trying to get to New Orleans. I forgot where we was going there. But at that point also, I did my fair share of driving there. Because Mr. Justin knows don't trust me to drive of a morning and don't trust him to drive of a night. So, anything else you want to plug? Anything else you got coming up, man?
No, we're good, man.
So, all these ladies hearing your story now, they're listening to this. Can we confirm that you are single?
Oh, yeah. You can follow me on Tinder, the Facebook, the Twitter. It's all out there.
I don't think you can actually search for people on Tinder.
I really have no idea. I'm really bad at social media.
So what is the best way for them to contact you? You want them to hit up the Facebook? Are you going to reactivate the Facebook?
Yeah, if you hit up the Facebook, I will get back to it in 5 to 10 days.
You know, hopefully you're going to share this episode on Facebook that you're on.
Yeah, I got to figure out how to do that, but I'll do that.
I mean, I could help you. I think you should also get on this hospital that you work for's page and share it there.
Nah, that probably won't do that. I dropped a couple F-bombs in this episode.
And he means fan-friendly. So, best way to hit you up, Facebook, Twitter, do you got a preference?
Yeah, either one works. Just contact you. You can get a hold of me.
Yeah, I'm not your pimp, sir. So, I'm going to call it right here. The best way to contact him is going to be on Twitter because we're trying to get him to step his Twitter game up. Hit him up on Twitter at Justin Allen Lane. You can give him a call on his phone number at 573. Oh, wait, you don't give him your phone number?
No, I don't got my phone number.
Oh.
I heard you had a couple people from Germany listening to this crap.
Yeah, dude, like, it's crazy. Like, the map on there, like, the little diagram of where people listen to, I'm just like, wait, how did this happen? Did somebody click the wrong button multiple times?
They probably live in their parents' basement.
Yeah, probably.
And I probably just offended all of them.
Yeah, probably. You know, they need to email us someone like an autograph 8x10.
I'm not going to get it. I charge for that crap. $10. Remember Days of the Dead?
Yeah, and I don't think anybody would actually take you up on it.
No, they wouldn't. No one paid for the autograph.
I tell you what, he charges $10 for an autograph. All my subscribers to the Big Lee's World podcast can get an autograph of Justin Lane for $8.
Now they get it for free.
Oh, they get it for free?
If we get the 100 people listening to this, they'll get it for free.
Make sure that you make Justin follow up on that when you follow him on Twitter at Justin Allen Lane. Once again, thanks for doing this with me. This is something we've been talking about doing for a few years, way before Big Lee's World and the whole wrestling thing and all that. So, actually, for us to sit down and do this is really cool to me. So, thanks again. Appreciate everyone that's listening to this right now. Subscribe, follow, like, share, however you found this podcast. We're on Spotify. Make sure you follow us. If we're on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. How do you listen to this?
Well, let me look it up. I listen to it on Podcast Addict.
Okay, we're also on Podcast Addict as well. So, like I said, make sure you subscribe. Give us a rating. Give us a review.
You know, it better be 5 stars.
Yeah, 5 stars. If not, I expect a good comment on there and why not. So, once again, any questions, suggestions, email us bigleesworld@gmail.com. Follow us on Facebook at Big Lee's World. Twitter and Instagram at BigLee756. Make sure you hit us up, like, follow, retweet, share, write a letter, email or mail it, send a package.
I would like a personal letter from somebody. That'd be kind of cool.
Okay, mail Justin's letter too. I don't know, I haven't got the phone out to look at your address, so I can't do that today. I mean, it'd be the same as the phone number. I just know it's 573. So, also, you win a free autograph and a free photo op with Justin if you can figure out the rest of his phone number. Depending on who tries, I may just help you win it by giving you the number.
Hopefully it's Ken.
Yes, Ken Murphy. If you made it to the 149.41 mark of this, Justin wants to be a closer friend with you, even though he is still salty about the Jerry Lawler photo and about the Global Force deal, and still not getting his free CCW tickets. Although, Ken will probably tell you to hit up the guy that runs the CCW box office.
Yeah, I think that's a piece of crap.
Oh, yeah. I heard that guy's, pretty tight. Anyways, once again, thanks for listening. Follow us on Facebook at Big Lee's World. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at BigLee756. Send us an email, bigleesworld@gmail.com. Thanks to our guest, Justin Lane, for chiming in and taking that trip down memory lane with us. I'm sure there'll be multiple episodes with him on here. Once again, follow him at Justin Allen Lane. You want them to email you anything before we head out?
No, I'm good, brother.
Awesome. Anyways, thanks again for listening. As always, 2 scoops of whoop, whoop, whoop. Thanks for listening. Have a great day.